Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here. Happy Sunday, all. It is March 22nd, 2026. It's just after 1 p.m. out here in the desert. I hope you guys are having an awesome weekend. I know I was just streaming last night, but I've been trying to be better about putting together streams that work for our folks across the pond, not just for the folks out here in Canada, US, all that kind of stuff. So really, I don't know, maybe if you are an international fan of the Davey Deathray channel, or you just are an international fan of horror YouTube in general, I'm trying to do this to include everyone that we can. So there you go. Hope you guys are having a great one. Thank you so much for jumping in. I can't believe it. There's already like 20 people hanging out middle of the day on a Sunday. And really, guys, I try to do this at least once a week where we have a stream that's kind of like, you know, I don't have like a set agenda, you know, so it'll be like whatever you guys really want to talk about. I actually have a couple topics here where I was like, you know what, I'll just, in case I need some, you know, something to talk about, I've got something in my back pocket. So I'm going to say what's up to everybody, but really quick before I do that, I'm going to ask you to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Sometimes I don't put up streams until, like this one I put up seriously last night before I went to bed. Well, this morning before I went to bed at like 4 in the morning. So it hasn't really been up very long to, you know, give you days and days of notifications. So if you have the bell hit, you're less likely to miss any of these streams. If you're watching after the fact, that is awesome. That is so huge, especially for small channels like this one. Thank you so very much. Also hit that like button and maybe even hype the video if there's something about it that you really liked. I don't know. We all have those hype points. I kind of save them for, you know, videos where I'm like, oh, I've never really heard of this person, or, you know, this is a buddy of mine, or something like that. So don't forget, you've got those hype points and you can spread some love. So I'm going to say what's up to you guys, and then we're just going to get hanging and chatting. Probably do like hour and a half, something like that today. We'll see how it goes. I do have a super chat goal in the chat. Keep on trying this one because you guys know that I'm not a scary movie fan. So I figure I'm like, oh, they're going to want to make me watch Scary Movie. But maybe you've decided that won't be very entertaining because I've said I'm not a fan. I thought it would be kind of, I was like, oh, though you guys will want to put me through the torture. But there's a super chat goal. If you guys want me to host a Scary Movie watch party next weekend, then, you know, looks like only 8 super chats of $2 or more, and we can make that happen. No big deal if we don't. Super chat goals are just kind of fun. They're kind of extra. And Jigsaw really made it happen yesterday. So I feel like I already owe ski, if you know what I mean. But let me say what's up to you guys, and then we'll just we'll get going. If I see like a big question or a good whatever, something I want to talk about as I'm saying hi, I'll probably just starve the chat and come back to it. That way I can say what's up to everybody, and then we can dive in and just start really talking about whatever you guys want to talk about. So here we go. We got Austin Almond hanging out, one of our great channel members. How are you doing, Austin? Welcome on in. We got Andrew Stevens in the house. What's happening, Andrew? Hope you're doing well. Montrese is hanging out. What's up, Montrese? Very good to see you. Andrew, I do see your question. I will get to that here in a bit. What's up, horny hedgehogs? Asked Shannon. Yeah, I was thinking about that right before going live because my hair, you know, kind of looks funny too. I was like, oh, this looks like if I had frosty tips, this would be some Sonic the Hedgehog kind of nonsense, right? Ooh, Buffy is really good, man. There's so much more good than like in that show. Like I don't think there are like bad streaks in that show, but just maybe, you know, times where it doesn't feel like it's moving as quickly. But that's the nature of television. Back when they did, you know, 24 episode TV shows, you would have you know, concept episodes and side episodes and stuff like that. So what's happening, Carrie Crave Cinema, one of our great channel members? How are you doing, miss? Thank you so much for joining us for Urban Legend yesterday. If you guys missed that, check it out over on either Carrie's channel or my own channel. Also, I think Carrie is like 5 subs away from 1,500. So if you have not subscribed to Carrie's channel, let me see if I can bring up that link here. And yeah, maybe we can get her to hit that 1.5 while we're hanging out today. What do you think? Let me bring that up here. Mm-hmm. There it is. Carrie Craves Cinema. All right. Man, I've been watching a lot of interrogation videos lately. I'm not sure what you guys like to watch other than horror content. A lot of interrogation videos lately. I find those fascinating. And then I've been getting into some, like, a couple gaming streamers. I'm not really big into all the gaming streamers and stuff like that, but every now and then somebody's personality grabs me, or maybe it's just the game that I'm interested in and I know I won't be able to play it. So I've been watching this gamer from out in the Bay Area play through. She just finished the newer Zelda game, Tears of the Kingdom, and then she's on to Resident Evil 9. I don't know. There's just something fun about it. Totally different community. It's kind of fun to jump tracks. And not that the Davey Deathray channel is even close to being big or anything, but it's cool to jump into a chat and just be like, I'm just totally anonymous, like not even really ingrained in the community the way I am, even in the horror community as an audience member. I, of course, with my blah, 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 everywhere I go, I'm like, look at me, look at me. It's a problem. It is a problem. Let's see who else we've got here. We've got, oh my gosh, everyone's saying hi to each other. I love it. I love it. We got Lenny hanging out. What's happening, Lenny? Welcome on back, man. Welcome back. We've got, I'll be right back. How's it going? I'll be right back. Hope you are doing well. A little picture of a knife there. Not intimidating at all, we got Jamie Hart in the house, our original Death Squad mod, our mama mod, and a YouTube channel member. How are you doing, Jamie? Hope the Sunday is treating you well so far here. We got Jiggy dropping a 2. What's happening, Jigsaw? Thank you so very much. One of our great channel members. And guys, like I said earlier, I kind of just went right by it, but Jiggy, I made a joke yesterday about Jiggy dropping $50 for some singing and stuff. So Jiggy did it. Jiggy dropped the $50 super chat, which simultaneously, made me break out into cold sweats. I felt immediate guilt. I felt bad. I still feel a little bad. I'm like, no, you really didn't have to do it, Jiggy. But appreciate it so very much, man. It is incredibly generous. I don't ever expect a thing when I go live. As far as super chats go, I don't ever expect it. Maybe people that have like hundreds of people like on their live streams and stuff and tens of thousands of subscribers, they can expect that it's just going to happen. But it's definitely like, I am grateful for every little bit of it. So I mean, I'm grateful that you guys even just spend time hanging out. So I really do appreciate it. Jigsaw, I think we've got wait, really quick, guys, the phone lines are lighting up. First off, I didn't even know we had phone lines here. I had no idea. Line 2 is blinking. I didn't even know we had multiple lines. I didn't even know we take calls. This isn't a radio program, but we do have a special caller. And I think this caller, my producer's telling me they've got a special message for you, Jigsaw. So I'm going to put the music on pause for a second. We've got a special message for Jigsaw. So let me see if I can line this up, get our caller in here. I'm going to cut the music. There we go. Okay, let's see how this works. Gosh, I think I've got it all figured out. Here we go. There's that. All right, here we go, guys. This is a special message that was just phoned in. I didn't even know we had phone lines again. How did you get my information? But here we go. Special message just for Jigsaw. Here we go.
Turn around. Every now and then we get a little bit lonely 'cause Jigsaw is not there. Every now and then we get a little elated when his comment appears on the screen. And we need you now in chat. And we need you more than ever. And if Jigsaw could say something else, we'll be holding on to it forever. 'Cause your separate chats will never do wrong. Together we can make this chat go on till the end of time. Nothing we can say, a total Jigsaw of the heart. That's for you, Jigsaw. Thank you for the $50 super chat, and thank you for me making a total ass out of myself. But this one's for you. This one's for you.
There we are. All right, so our anonymous caller was Carrie Crave Cinema. There we go. A little something there for Jigsaw. Guys, give it up for Carrie Crave Cinema. In fact, here we go. I could just do a little, there we go. Thank you, Carrie. Really appreciate you. Carrie's doing more for the 50 than I ever did. So I got to figure something out too, because that was, I don't think I can outdo that. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. Jiggy. But hopefully that helps. I think that's pretty good. That's very, very creative. I didn't expect that. So thank you so very much, Carrie. Really appreciate you. Working on Sunday. Oh, that should have been an option on the poll. Andrew's talking about the poll. I know. I wish you could do even just 5 options would be cool on YouTube. I don't know why it's limited to 4. To me, that's just like not quite enough. But yeah, I guess assuming, how about your Sunday, Andrew, the day that's like your day before you have to go back to work? I worked in the service industry all the time. So I did like Monday, Tuesday off, or Tuesday, Wednesday off, like that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm just curious, the best thing to do on a Sunday, either sleep in, catch up on chores, watch a sport, or watch movies all day. And 43% of the 16 people that have voted are saying watch movies all damn day. And we got Shannon from Talking Star Wars dropping a $2 Canadian. Thank you so much, Shannon. Yeah, Lizzie's like, what is this sleep in gibberish listed on the... Well, just relatively speaking, sleeping in, right? Something like that. How are you doing, Lizzie? Thank you so much for kicking it with us, one of our great channel members. And guys, we get like a look at Lizzie. This is a good look at Lizzie. Most people, we got I'll be right back with the knife. Jiggy's just got the J with like the ocean green or whatever. And then look at this bright, beautiful face there. How lovely. What a lovely little community we have here. How about it? Let's see who else we have in here, and then we will really get rolling, guys. All right. Ooh, Jared Arnold, Mr. Gerald himself, jumping on in. What's happening, Jared? Hope you are doing well. One of our great channel members. Thank you so much for being a member. We got Gory Tiger in the house. What's happening, Gory? Hope you are doing well. Yeah, I don't know. My parents had 5 kids in like 11 years. It's hardcore, or like 10-ish, 10 and a half-ish, something like that. So that's quite a bit. We got Todd Bown in the house, another one of our great channel members. What's happening, Todd? So good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hollywood Lito. What's happening, Lito? Hope you are doing well, man. Hope the weekend has treated you well. And gosh, I know it's probably hot where you are. I hope there's some sort of ocean breeze. Dude, it's been like 108 here in the desert already. So I'm just like, ugh, I would take 90 something in the LA area. I imagine you guys are probably pretty warm out there. I'm not one of those people that like keeps tabs on weather everywhere. Obviously, if there's like a massive storm that's going to affect like 1/5 of the country, like it's kind of tough to like not kind of hear about it. But my mom, like, it's so funny. I haven't lived in Juneau, Alaska since like, I think the last time I lived there was like 06, 07, maybe. Okay, probably was 07 was the last time I lived there. Almost 20 years ago. My mom and dad have lived here for like 16 years. My mom still does the Juneau weather update for me, and I'm just like, okay, I love it. I'm like, I haven't lived there in 20 years, but I know what the weather's like. I do know what the weather's like in my hometown. So there you go. Little bit of a sidetrack there. We got Nicholas Woodall hanging out. What's happening, Nicholas? Welcome on in. Saw a movie called Turbulence, came out in 2025. Oh, interesting. There was a movie called Turbulence in like the late 90s or something like that. I think Ray Liotta was in it. One of those like, boilerplate kind of corny action movies or whatever. 4 people trapped. They were trapped in a hot air balloon. Interesting. That doesn't sound like fun. I've seen those crazy videos where, you know, those balloons just crash land, and that just seems absolutely frightening. I don't know if I would have the guts to take a hot air balloon trip, honestly. Kind of a wuss when it comes to that. I don't do haunted houses, and I don't want to do you know, devices that have one mechanism to propel you that also float you thousands of feet above the air. I'm not really interested in that. The craziest thing I've ever done that would be close to that is a couple helicopter rides, but that is exhilarating if you've never taken a helicopter ride. It's wild. It's like being on a roller coaster that has no tracks, that can do whatever it wants. It's amazing. It's amazing. We got Steph jumping on in. What's happening, Steph? Welcome on in. Hope you are doing well. We've got Mike Mason. Ooh, favorite Chuck. Mike, I'm gonna table that one, and I'm gonna come on back to it. All right. Eli Cortez is hanging out with us, guys. One of our great channel members and Death Squad mods. How are you doing, Eli? And see, this is funny. I thought that I had missed saying hi to Erica, and it's just people doing the summoning Erica thing. So you guys are kind of freaking me out, because there have been times where I miss Erica saying hi, and then I get to the chat that's like, why are you ignoring me? So I'm like, oh no, did I miss it? Did I miss saying hi? Thank you so much, Eli. Thank you. Appreciate you, bud. All right, let's see who else we've got. We do have Erica. She was, in fact, summoned. How are you doing, Erica? One of our great channel members, Death Squad mods, our queen mod over on the Discord. Thank you so much for streaming Urban Legend last night, Erica, so people could watch in the voice chat on the Discord. And guys, if we reach our super chat goal and we do the scary movie thing, I think since it would be next weekend, hopefully we could find a time to coordinate with Erica, or maybe, you know, another moderator on the Discord, so we could also show Scary Movie at the same time as the watch party. So, all right. Moving on, Jigsaw dropping another $2, says spank that like button or the dungeon for you. Yes. And it did work. The summoning actually worked, which I guess proves my point that all women have potential for witchcraft and, you know, supernatural dark magic abilities. So there you go. There you go. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Dude, the body cam footage is wild. Body cam, and then I like both of them. I do both, Jamie. I'll do the body cam for like the traffic stops where, look, I get it. Like, a traffic stop can be stressful. A lot of the times, people are asked to do very reasonable things. And then they kick and scream and end up getting like all these charges that they never had to get. Or here's the other one, Jamie. I'm sure you see this all the time. They've already got a bunch of charges. Like they get pulled over for like not having working lights or speeding or whatever. And then the officer finds out, oh my gosh, this person is like a huge problem for society. And then, of course, it snowballs into something. But gosh, don't get me wrong. I've seen plenty of stuff where abuse of power happens everywhere, but I have seen so many examples of it's like, dude, if you just like, you would have just gotten a ticket if you just like did a couple of like very simple things. Like you're not giving up your agency and your autonomy by doing X, Y, and Z, showing a license, stuff like that. Yeah, the true crime stuff is really interesting, man. It's wild to me that the stuff that people bring themselves to do, and then the way they behave after they do these terrible things, like nothing ever happened. It's wild. The human mind is a crazy thing. We got Gina hanging out with us, aka My Chunky Jordy. How are you doing, Gina? Hope you are doing well. Guys, if you don't know what I'm doing when I sing the My Chunky Jordy, there is a 311 song from their second record called Grassroots, and it's called My Stony Baby. It's my stony baby. So I just do that with My Chunky Jordy because it's the same amount of syllables. I'm again, it's a problem being me. So Gina, I hope you're doing well. I'm so pumped that you're hanging out. This isn't the whole reason why. It's really cool to go live midday. Like right now we have about 40 people watching, which is incredible in the middle of a Sunday. I'm sure there are so many awesome streamers with maybe actual agendas live right now. So thank you so very much to everyone that's joining us. And even more encouraging to see when the people, from the UK are able to join, because I get it. It can be frustrating that I'm always going live in the middle of the night for you guys, or right before you're all about to wake up. We got Ryan Michael hanging out with us, one of our great channel members and a good buddy of mine. A person I've actually met, and somebody I knew before he became a channel member. How about that? Ryan is awesome. He is he has a wealth of knowledge for horror, and if you want to talk some ICP as well, he's there for that too. So there you go. There you go. Yeah, Call Me Chris is really good. Yeah, she's hilarious, and she's totally adorable and all that stuff too, but her personality is very, very just super cute, and she is super quick-witted and very smart. Yeah, I love watching her Reddit stuff and all that. Call Me Chris is great. Yeah, I haven't watched her movie. I didn't hear the best things about it, and it's like I don't know, maybe I should just watch it just to see. But as far as a content creator goes, she is, I think, one of the most likable, big time content creators. Doesn't give me sometimes, I watch somebody that's a big time. I'm not going to name any names, but there are some content creators, even in this horror sphere, that when I watch them, it's it's a little bit cringy, or it just seems like a little too polished, or a little too, I don't know. It's like when Blink started getting really big, when Blink 182 got huge in the pop music world. I had been listening to them for a couple years, and then they got big, and it was their sound had kind of changed to sort of fit that mold, and I just looked at it and I was like, this isn't for me anymore. It's moved on and it's become something else. And I certainly think that in the world of movie talk or horror talk or whatever, even stuff people have been oh, what do you think about Mr. Beast? My brother-in-law was like, what do you think of Mr. Beast? And I was like, I don't even know who that is. This was a year and a half ago, and he was like, oh, he's one of the biggest YouTubers out there. And I was just I'm just not on, it's just not on the radar. And Call Me Chris is one of those that's got millions of subs, and I absolutely love her channel, both of her channels. Yeah. I should watch the movie just to see what it's like, and just to be supportive. Okay, let's see what else we got going on. I've still not seen that one, Austin. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add it to my watch list right now, because I've been meaning to see that movie for a while. Rest in peace, Anton Yelchin. I think he was a fantastic performer. And, Imogene Poots is in this one too. I think she's good. I like her look. Patrick Stewart. Yeah, come on. You can't really... Macon Blair, did Macon Blair direct? Oh no. So Macon Blair is he's tagged in this, but I know that name because Macon Blair directed the Toxic Avenger remake that I really enjoyed. So, okay, Green Room is on the list. Thank you, Austin. Appreciate you. Let's see who else we have going on here. We got Jason from Backtrack Cinema. Guys, I just recorded a video with Jason. And Nick has multiple channels. Movie Ranker, is that Jason? Can you confirm? You know all the info on Nick. I had just met Nick for the very first time as we're shooting the video, pretty much. So we did it's kind of a look back retrospective to RoboCop, and it's part of a new series that Jason is starting. So I believe this will be the first video in the series. So just looking back at RoboCop, really giving it scores on a bunch of criteria and discussing and celebrating the movie. And if you guys don't know this about me, I think RoboCop is the greatest action movie of all time. Maybe that's a stretch. I think as far as 80s go, to me, it's the quintessential 80s action movie and the best one of the bunch. So I don't get sick of RoboCop. In fact, I find that I like it more and more every time I watch it. It's very similar to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie from 1990, where it just continues to age so well and be serious enough for the material without taking itself too seriously, if that makes sense. It's a delicate balance, and I'm sure there are plenty of people that would say it's not very well balanced, but I will, darn it. We got Mr. Ryan Underwood, aka Piss Stofferson. Says the best thing to do on Sunday is training arms. There you go. And by the looks of Ryan, you can tell that he does not miss any of the workout days. Look at those thighs in that picture, guys. It's like giant turkey drumsticks there. Look at those big muscular thighs. Yes. All right, what else do we got going on here? Ryan, thank you so much for being a channel member, man. Welcome on in. Really appreciate you. Okay, the 80s are back and I'm doing cocaine off a hooker to keep it going. Well, that's crazy that you just said that, because I just talked about RoboCop and I hadn't seen that chat, but that happens in RoboCop. And yeah, the 80s were wild. Not that I was participating in any of the wild 80s stuff, but it was a free time. It was a very free time, you know? Let's see here. Back on set later tonight, super secret superhero theme project that you will actually dig, Davey. Oh my goodness. Are you playing Spider-Man again, Lido? Are you going to be Spider-Man? You've played Spider-Man before, right? Yeah, guys, if you don't know, Lido is not only does he I don't even know what he says back on set. I figure you're performing in front of camera. But Lido does cosplaying, acting, composes music, all sorts of stuff. So a multi-talent guy and a friend of the channel. We got $4.99 super chat from Ryan Michael, one of our great channel members, says, thank you, Jiggy, for making that happen. Yeah, I maybe I missed some of the chats, but did you guys give Carrie enough love? Maybe we need another round of love. It was her birthday last week and then she sang for us, so another round of Carrie love would be great. Oh my god, M is literally, you would be melting outside of the window right now. The real feel, guys, so it's 137 out here. The real feel, according to MSN weather, says it's 104 right now. 104. And it's like, I mean, there's no shade or anything. Like, fuck, like maybe if you found a tree, you could, the shade would help a little bit this time of year. But yeah, M, you would be absolutely melting. I hope that Florida is, just the perfect weather for you when you visit. I would imagine it's gotta be. So yeah, M, welcome on in. Or her, ladies and gentlemen. One of our great channel members, a really, really good friend of the channel. And Em and I are going to be working on a little something together next month for her channel. And we've got to put a little something together for over here as well. All right, let me see if I'm all caught up with everybody. Guys, if I missed saying hello to you, I'm so sorry. I am just trying to catch up. But I guess this is all part of the hang, right? Saying hello to everybody and getting through the whole deal. Jigsaw drops another $2 super chat, says, thank you, Carrie. Awesome song. Love it. Thank you for showing that little extra appreciation, Jigsaw. You are too kind. 6 straight days of 100 plus. Yeah. Yeah, it's so rough, man. I hope there's at least some sort. Yeah, you're on the hottest part of the valley, so even if you get a breeze, it's probably not that amazing at 104. It's so funny, the breeze out here in the summer, when it's 120 and there's a breeze, it just feels like you're living in a hairdryer. It's an absolute nightmare. Like you kind of just don't want any breeze at that point when it's 120. And I think it topped out at like 125 last year. One day it was 125, which is friggin' crazy. Looks like I missed saying hi to Paula. What's happening, Paula? No worries. We're just chit-chatting and saying what's up. Mr. Like It or Not is in the house. What's happening, Mr. Like It or Not? Hope you're doing well. Hope Sunday's treating you awesomely so far. No worries, King Matthew. Thanks for dropping in and saying what's up. Hope you have a great day there at work. Good on you for covering for a coworker there. Yeah, I never saw that one. I remember, like, I'm, aware of it, but I can't believe that my brain pulled that, just seeing that title. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's this, and I'm pretty sure it's got that guy in it. Even movies I've never seen, for some reason, I remember. It would be awesome if I could, like, do something useful with that talent. But not so much. Grew up in Maryland and lived in North Carolina for 20 years. You'd think the weather would basically be the same. It's only a 6-hour drive. Yeah, I would imagine the humidity is just it gets worse the further south you go, right? But it can. I know I lived in Maryland for a little bit in Annapolis, like the Annapolis area. So it was what was it actually called? Edgewater, I think was the name of the town. And then we have my family has family friends out there. So I visited out there and lived out there for a little bit. And it can, I mean, man, even in Maryland, it can, 85 and muggy feels like way over 100, like 85, 90 and muggy is just about the same. I would say is like 100, 110, 115, having felt both, they're very, very similar. Yeah. Indefinitely behind the chat. Yep. That's just how it goes. You guys are very, very chatty, and so am I. So, favorite movie theater located in Pasadena is closing on April 28th. So last Thursday for my goodbye, I went for a double bill, Scream 7, and then Ready or Not 2. Which theater is that, Lito? I went to the Regency is the one in Pasadena that I've been to. So like when they did H45. Like the night before, I went and caught the original Halloween at the Regency. I just saw Ready or Not 2 on Friday night. Yeah. Dine-in theater. All right. Wow, that's a bummer, but at least you got to be there for the send-off, right? It sucks when favorite businesses close and all that, I would pay to see Davey dressed as a policeman stopping cars. I don't know if you want that. I'd have to go back to the mustache, right? If I did that. Holy cow, 199er from Ryan Michael. And guys, holy cow, I'm so far behind on the chat that we've reached the goal. And I don't even know. There you go. Yeah. Of course. And we would expect nothing less. Erica always asks for permission. Well, she either always asks for permission before flexing her power or... she's usually dead on. I trust Erica's judgment there. Ooh. Don't threaten me with a good time, as they say. Ryan, thank you so much for the 199, man. Looks like I'm going to have to watch Scary Movie with all of you guys. So there we go. Ooh, Riddle Box. We got some ICP love. I'm really only familiar with like Great Milenko. But my favorite song I would say is... Oh, dude, the Nedden game is so good. Like, I can... if you dropped me in front of a karaoke box, I could do the whole Nedden game thing. That song just cracks me up. It is like a filthy Weird Al kind of track. It's just hilarious. Love that one. All right, let's see here. One of my older sisters has the Hatchet Girl tattooed on her. Danielle... Wait. Danielle Harris? That Hatchet Girl? Well, I will have to give Scary Movie another chance. I think the second one's okay. The second one makes me laugh. We'll see about the first one. I haven't watched it since right after it came out. I probably saw it in the theater and then once outside of that, I would guess. But, don't quote me on that one. Thank you so much for the 2, Carrie. Really appreciate you. Lido, I missed that first one. I saw that picture on Facebook and it makes my tooth hurt just thinking about it. But I didn't even know you had veneers. Oh my gosh, Lido. Oh my gosh. I did the whole braces when I was a kid and then lost my retainer and had to do Invisalign after. So I still sleep with like a retainer at night, and it's actually amazing, guys, the plastic retainer, because I grind my teeth and I can it's really and then I have terrible nightmares when I'm grinding my teeth and it feels like my teeth are actually shattering. Like, I'm sure some of you guys know what I'm talking about. It's a common thing that people dream about, and so thank goodness for my retainer, because it saved me a lot of pain and probably a lot of stress too. Dude Ranch, easy. That one's too easy, Austin. It's got to be Dude Ranch, right? They still sounded a little rough. I actually prefer Scott as a drummer. I think Travis is a better drummer, easy. No, there's no discussion there. I just think the overactive style to me, I don't know. Oddly enough, I think it kind of bores me after a while. So I like the straightforward Scott style. And so in those early days when Scott was drumming on Buddha, Cheshire Cat, and Dude Ranch, yeah, the drums aren't nearly as complicated, but the emphasis was on the guitar melodies and the vocals. And I really I like that era of Blink. Yeah, not all those records don't sound as good. Like, you know, Cheshire Cat sounds a little rough, but it has some of my favorite Blink songs. Like Strings is one of my favorite. I would put that like top 5 Blink song, and like no one talks about Strings. No one talks about that song. People don't even talk about like M&M's or like Carousel. Come on, those are like all-time bangers. Once they got huge, I felt like Blink just became kind of a novelty band. You know, they're the ICP of pop punk. They're like Weird Al, Ray Stevens. You know, they were just and it's funny because they made fun of, you know, the boy bands and stuff in some of their music videos, and they're a boy band. Like Blink 182 became a boy band. Like let's just be honest about it. And there's, you know, whatever, they get to do what they want. I'm so happy for all their success, and those guys have like been through some real shit in their lives as well, so it's not like everything's been like hunky-dory and perfect for them. And I'm just one person. They don't really have to care about my opinion. Here we go. We got Jigsaw dropping another 3 mouth. Thank you so much, Jiggy. I hope I always stay the same with my content, mainly because I don't want to learn new skills. Well, it's the trick, right? Like you want your channel to grow and everything. And, you know, once it gets to certain levels, it is tougher to do certain things or be as present, right? I'm just going to, you know, whatever happens with the channel, I hope it continues to grow, and I'm just going to do the best I can. And if it means going live more, going live at weirder times, whatever, we'll find a way to make it happen. Yeah, we have been. It's been a long beef, a long stinky beef over Scary Movie for over a year now. I know hate is a strong word, but yeah, I can be very animated in my opinions on them. Yeah. Lido with a $2. Thank you so much, Lido. Really appreciate you. I think it's I don't like Scary Movie because I'm choosing the banana. You know, it's all of the fucking like. I don't even mind sophomoric dirty humor, but it is the foundation. It's the walls of the house that they built. Like a lot of the jokes, especially in the first Scary Movie, are Big Bush, cum related, gay jokes, like just like stuff that like all has a place, but I don't think it should be the meat and potatoes of the comedy, if that makes any sense. Like, I think the comedy should always be rooted in something that can be laughed at by people of like kind of all ages and everything like that. Like Naked Gun, they make a bunch of dirty jokes. Airplane, there's some dirty jokes in there, but a lot of the humor is just clever and funny and absurdist, you know? I dig that. Imogene poops. Well, I hope she does, because I don't know how she would be alive if she doesn't, you know? So I'm hoping for healthy, you know, digestive tract business for Imogene Poots. And you know, she was in the Black Christmas 2019 movie, and they really tried to make her look as homely as possible, let's be honest. But she's a cutie, you know? She's a cutie. She has a good American accent too. I didn't like really mind her performance in that movie, but that movie is rough. House of Eden was great. Ending was meh, but I liked it. What if I'm not a found footage person? Am I going to hate it? Thank you so much for the 2, Carrie. I should just give it a shot. I think it's only like an hour and 15 minutes, something like that. It's a very like, you know, it's like they knew about runtime bitch Davey Deathray when they made that movie. Boom, there it is. We got what is that, number 9 and number 10, Ryan Michael with the 199er. M from Horror Her dropping the 199 pounds. Oh yeah. Boom. There it is. Thank you so much, Em. Thank you so much, Ryan. Appreciate you guys so very much. Rickum8343 says Green Room is terrific. Well, you know, like you guys say in the poll here, 42 votes, and okay, 40% of you are saying sleep in, 40% of you are saying watch movies all day. I'm going to try to watch 2 movies today because, guys, I am trying to watch 365 movies this year that I've never seen before. As of now, I'm looking at my Letterboxd. So as of now, the movies that the movies I've logged that I've seen in my life, 2,092 movies. I probably haven't logged everything. I've tried to like look up everything and skim through all the different lists. So I've watched 2,092 movies ish, 3,000 movies, or 2,100 movies in my life. I've seen 57 this year, so I've got to do some twofers and catch up. 57 brand new movies this year for me so far. Not all at the theater, of course, just in general. Ryan did beat you, so boom, 11th super chat from M. How about it? I love it. I love it. Yeah. Coming in at the 11th hour. How are you doing that from right? Okay. No, I see you. You must be on the Wi-Fi. Okay. Guys, M's okay. We got her some water, and we're going to make sure to get her some Gatorade as well, because you lose your salts here in the desert, or just a salt lick, but that feels like you're treating a person like an animal, but it would actually be very helpful here in the desert. Yeah, it is crazy. I was looking at, what was I just looking at? Oh, I was like, I haven't seen Poltergeist 3. I should put that on my watch list, thinking of movies I haven't seen. And then I was like, did they do any more Poltergeist? I'm like, oh, well, they did the remake. And I looked up the remake, 2015 for that Poltergeist remake. I'm like, oh my God, the time has just flown by. If you asked me, I would have guessed like 2019. Like, so almost 5 years off, which, 10, 11 years removed is kind of a significant amount to be completely off. And yeah, man, Anton Yelchin was so talented. His death was really tragic and really sad and unnecessary in so many ways. And it really is a shame. I loved him as a performer and everything I saw him in. And yeah, it's what a freak way for someone of his stature and in his position to lose their life. That kind of stuff probably happens, but never to somebody that's, a little more like on the high profile kind of side. I can totally, I figure as much. I know it's gonna, anytime you're talking about confronting like extremist, racism or like hate cults kind of, elements in a movie, because I know that's one of the big elements there. I have gosh, I'm sure I've told you guys this story before, but so I was in this band called Danger Deathray. We had some really good buddies out in Bend, Oregon, this band called Tuck and Roll. Shout out to Sam Fisher and the rest of the crew. Tuck and Roll was great. They were way better than us, or way more, I always felt like Danger Deathray, I loved our music and stuff. I mean, if I wouldn't have been in the band, I was writing songs. Like I loved the co-writer in the band. Like I loved the songs that he brought to the table. And there was like something about us that was always a little off center or whatever. And then you would see all these great bands that just sort of had like what I would say is like the it factor. It's not that they just sound like this band or sound like that band. They just sound like a band where I'm like, yeah, I could hear these guys like on compilations and people gravitating to something more like that. And Tuck and Roll was that way. So anyways, we'd always play with Tuck and Roll. They were our buds. We went on tour with them a bunch of times. One night after a show in Bend, we got invited to this private party. These guys were like, hey, we've got this spot in a warehouse where we like work on our bikes, and we've got like a bar there and like video games, and we'll play some music and blah blah blah. And we roll over there, big old convoy or whatever, and we start hanging out. And at first, like, I don't really like, it's kind of odd. I'm like, all right, we're in this like rented out space, like a storage, like a huge storage unit, like a shop size storage unit. And they had a legit bar, and they're just like giving out drinks for free. Whole bunch of like bras and underwear are like tacked up on the wall behind the bar, which I was like, well, I've never seen that before. And then I started like seeing some imagery around the bar, you know, as I'm just like talking and looking around, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, is this some sort of like Nazi biker bar? Like, I'm sitting there thinking, what is going on? Because I had never been in that situation. Everyone had been nice to us, of course. I mean, I guess that's like the old fairy tale. Everyone's going to be nice to like get you into their lair. Nothing weird ended up happening. Like, there was no like event or anything. It never got like awkward or personally awkward, but it was basically like going over to the other bandmates and being like, so I noticed this stuff. Do you notice this stuff? And they're like, oh yeah, I noticed this stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe we leave soon here. You know, just like, I don't want it to get uncomfortable, and I definitely don't want to continue to inebriate myself around a bunch of strangers that are living a lifestyle that I can't co-sign on. Thank you for being nice to us, guys, and all that. Definitely appreciate it, but it's just kind of a weird vibe. So there you go. There's a story from the road. I'm guessing not as intense as Green Room, but just a little taste of like how you can stumble into a situation and you don't even know what's going on until you've been there for like a half hour, and you're like, what the hell? It wasn't very obvious. There weren't like giant, you know, banners like they show in the movies and stuff. It was just these little subtle things where I was like, yeah, what can you do? It's about time for you and Cecil to team up again. Always enjoy those team up videos. Yeah, you know, it's been a while since I've done a review with Horror Show Channel. I didn't have a vehicle for a little bit, so it kind of like kept me away from being able to drive across town and everything. But I'm sure we'll do some more in the future for sure, and maybe even bring on Cecil over here for some sort of live stream or something like that. Oh yeah, he's got M. Ryan has the thorn tattoo as well in his on his inner wrist there. Pispistofferson is a pretty dope name. All right, guys, I'm gonna like fast forward to the front of the chat here. We got Kyle Curtis from the Fled from Another World jumping on in. Guys, Kyle Curtis and Carrie are going live at 6 p.m. Eastern tonight. Just wanted to let you know. So don't miss out on that. They have a very special guest on their watch party. Jump on in and say what's up. Even if you can't hang out, jump on in and say what's up and show them some love. Yeah. And it's going to get hotter. Here in an hour, it's probably going to be like 108, right? Because they say 3 p.m. is like the hottest time of the day. Something like that. 44 and rainy, dude. Oh, it's like what I grew up in, and I really miss that right now. Guys, I grew up latitude 58 is where Juneau's located, and man, just gloomy and cloudy and foggy and rainy and just so much moisture in the air and humidity, but not hot, sticky, gross humidity. Just, I don't know. Sometimes I really miss it. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's fucking nothing to do in Juneau. Like, that's why I ended up watching movies like crazy and playing guitar and starting bands and stuff like that, you know? But oh my gosh, the weather. I would love 44 and rainy right now. I would take that. Yes. And M gives me a lot of shit too. It's tough to tell tone through text, right, M? But yes, M is a big time joker. Sometimes I feel like I need to let people know that I'm joking too, because it can be, you know, maybe I'm a little too dry sometimes with my humor. I think Davey and I should plan a collab. Let's hang and talk about whatever. Yeah, you know, Jamie, I don't know if you were in the chat at that moment yesterday, but I had said something about bringing you back on. So maybe some sort of watch party, maybe some sort of discussion. I mean, for sure, when Evil Dead comes out later, way later on this summer, but we should do something before then, for sure. All right, we got Lamontre Gillard hanging out. What's happening, Lamontre? I know you're usually stopping in and saying what's up before the stream happens. It's so cool that you are Well, you were here 19 minutes ago. Hope you're having a great weekend. Thank you so much for being a channel member, bud. Okay, I am going to skip to the top of the chat and see what you guys are saying about my crazy story. We got Shay Rants. What's happening, Shay? So good to see ya. Sippin' Ice. What's happening, Sippin'? Welcome on in. Wait, the movie The Others sucks? Is that what you're saying? How dare you? No, I don't think that's what you're saying. My mouth guard no longer fits my teeth. The teeth nightmares are the worst, man. Never dreamed about Freddy Krueger, but I have dreams where my teeth are crumbling to pieces. It's just crazy. Oh, we got Ice Sippin' and Sippin' Ice. Is that the same person? Gosh, I hope so. Hopefully you don't have a stalker, Sippin', that just follows you everywhere. Let's see what else we got. Okay. Favorite Toni Collette film? You know, really, I haven't seen very many. I still haven't seen Hereditary. I think Toni Collette's very super talented, you know, very, very talented. I haven't seen enough to pick a favorite at this point. Oh, yeah, she's really good in that one. I mean, Little Miss Sunshine's, got a lot of great performances. Yeah, she's fantastic in that. But I gotta see Hereditary. You know, a lot of people say it's the best modern horror film. A lot of people say it's overrated. I just gotta see for myself. Okay, we got Gene Whitacombe hanging out. What's happening, Gene? Welcome on in. You need a sugar cookie with your tea there, Em? Oh my gosh. You guys talking Little Monsters? I love Little Monsters. That movie's so good, and holy cow, the last act is such nightmare fuel. Like, that movie really does hit. Daniel Stern plays such a jerk of a dad, too. Holy crap. Thank you so much for the reminder. Yeah, guys, hit that like button if you're kicking it with us. If you're watching after the fact, jump into the comments. Give me some shit, whatever you want to do. All right, let's see what we got here. Cool. I'm catching up. Wayne Turner is in the house. Whoa, about 8 a.m. here in Sydney, Australia. I'm not going to try to say that in an Australian accent, because whenever I try to do an Australian accent, it doesn't work. But I think this is the trick, is I try to pronounce every syllable like an I. Is like how I think of an Australian accent. Like, and New Zealand is similar. I know they're not the same, but every vowel as an I is kind of that's my cheat code. That's my pro tip there. Gina says, Davey, I can't remember. Did you watch Frankenstein? If so, what did you think? I've just watched the kill count and really like the look of it. Mia looks great. Yeah, I thought Frankenstein was pretty damn good. I don't think it quite looked cinematic enough for me. It has that Netflix straight to streaming, just something about it doesn't quite look cinematic. I would have loved to have seen it in the theater. I didn't have that option. I think the only theater showing it was like a one-time show. It was like over an hour away, and I don't, I can't do that. Like, I can't spend 5 or 6 hours for one movie. And I probably would have been a jerk about my opinion on it if I did. But I will say this, for how long the movie is, it really went by. Like, it was very swift in the way they told the story. I like the way they bounced back and forth the narrative. Like, the way they told the story was really cool. Mia does look great. I felt a little underwhelmed because I wanted more Mia Goth in there. So she's really good. I could have used more of her. But again, they're telling a story that, maybe I'm like totally blanking on the character's name. Elizabeth, I think. Maybe she's just not in the story enough to necessitate that. I thought Oscar Isaac's accent was in and out. I think the real star of the show in Frankenstein was Jacob Elordi. Never seen him in anything. That was my very first experience seeing him, but apparently he's a big star and a total hot thing, a total Hollywood hunk, but he was really good as the monster. I thought his performance was kind of saved the movie for me. Like, if the creature didn't work, I would probably trash the movie, honestly. So I was surprised that with Guillermo del Toro saying it's a movie he's wanted to make since he was 5 years old, I thought it would have been better. Like that's my, I don't know if that's a hot take. I know everyone is just shoveling it in and being like, oh my God, Frankenstein's amazing. And it's not like it's not bad or anything like that. I expected more from a guy that said he's been wanting to make this movie since he was 5 years old. Like, I thought it was going to be the biggest love letter and so epic and so grand. And it just didn't reach that, precipice for me. It just, I don't know. I don't know why this had to be a Netflix movie either. And I'll agree with Mia Goth. It is not horror. She said it wasn't horror, and everyone was like, how could she say that? Why are people ashamed of being in horror movies? And it's like, she said that because she saw the movie, guys. I mean, the Frankenstein story is a horror story. This movie is not a horror movie. No, sorry. Like, I will actually argue that Frankenstein is not a horror movie. Thank you so much, Wayne. Really appreciate you, bud. I've got that golden voice. Oh yeah. I should just do cameos. Yeah, have me say a catchphrase for $5 a pop. There we go. Something like that. Lubing it up, gotta lube up that radio voice. Lubing it up, ow, lubing it up, gotta lube up that Davey Deathray voice. There you go. There you go. Yeah, it does. Living in a fucking hairdryer. It's crazy. Yeah, see? I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one here. Yeah, I just got to see that movie. I haven't seen any Ari Aster movies. How funny is that? I've not seen, what did he did? He did Hereditary and then Midsummer. And there's another one. Some movie that's got some convoluted indie rock emo song title kind of title where it's just like a sentence. That kind of thing. I've heard a lot of people that are like, this movie's not good. Yeah. I don't think so. Do you? Oh, you're proud of it now. Okay. Just trying to catch up. We got Pat, that Halloween movie collector, in the house. What's happening, Pat? One of our great channel members. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're having an awesome weekend. Looks like you guys were having a little fun, still celebrating St. Patrick's Day yesterday. Hope you're doing well, Pat. We got to do something again, man. Got to do something sometime soon. This is amazing. You guys are absolutely incredible. Me catching up with the chat has been an hour of a stream. How about that? Fellow Aussie as Frankenstein. Oh, Alordi is an Aussie. Yeah, I never know. I never know. I assume every actor is British. That's what I assume. They're all British, even the ones that sound like they're American. You know? Well, that would be pretty interesting. Yeah. I mean, I love that she has like embraced horror and everything like that. But yeah, I think she would, it's kind of surprising that she hasn't really popped off in the mainstream world in a really, really big way. I mean, she is famous and everything, of course. But it is kind of surprising that we haven't seen her in one of these big like tentpole franchises yet, because I do think she's really damn good. I know not everyone loves the X trilogy, but I thought Pearl is amazing, and I really loved Maxine as well. And I just love the way that all three movies tell a full story. I thought they did a really good job of that, and each one of them tells a whole story, which is rare. We don't see that very often anymore, unfortunately. So yeah, let's go Mia Goth. Let's get her up and moving. Let's get her out there. Dude, yeah. Well, that's the way to go if you can find somebody that's just an absolute monster. He's a good actor, not just a sexy man. Yeah, he was great. I mean, I haven't seen him in anything else. I thought his version of the monster I was like, damn, dude, this guy's like really bringing some skill. Like, can't be an easy role to play with these little grunts and these little, just these sounds that he makes that are just like, he's really putting himself out there on a limb, trying some different shit. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I can think of, it didn't even make my top 10 for horror because I don't think it's horror. But I liked quite a few movies I saw this year more than Frankenstein. Maybe it's just the fatigue too. It's like Nosferatu. Like, I have seen this story so many times. Like, yeah, the old Frankenstein movie, the James Whale Frankenstein and James Whale's Bride of Frankenstein, yeah, they're old school and they're old fashioned and everything. I don't think there's anything wrong with those movies. You know, like, I really love those movies still. And yeah, it's not as close to an interpretation of the book, but Del Toro's is not an exact one-to-one either. That's the funny thing, is we end up having these discussions about like degrees of and I'm not saying that that's what you're saying, Jason, but I just mean in general, it's like, well, this one is more faithful to the book. And it's like, but still not all the way. So they're both guilty of the same thing. And now we're just talking degrees of guilt, you know? Yeah, I don't think they're together anymore. I think she just broke up with him, unfortunately. Well, I mean, sounds like he's put her through quite a bit of shit. She was there for the long haul for a good long while. I could see that happen if they really want to shell out the big bucks. Yeah. Who's going to play Bond next? They haven't figured that out yet, have they? Yeah, I have the feeling I'll be pretty bummed out with that movie. Like, I love Florence Pugh and everything. I get the feeling that it's a movie about a cult that's like really into punishing men. And these dark anti-men fantasy movies, obviously they're probably not really going to be for me. Can't really relate. So there you go. Uh-oh, Austin's going to get banned now for saying that. Yep, exactly. Not a fan of Ari Asshat. What other movies has he done? Oh, Beau is Afraid. So it's not that long of a title. Okay. I couldn't remember. There are a handful of these movies that are like, what was the one that had the one that was about the kid that did a school shooting? It was like, we have to talk about blah blah blah. Like, that was the name of the movie, is like, we have to talk about this kid's name. I'm just like, what is with these titles? It's seriously like indie emo bands in the early 2000s, the way they would name their songs, like complete sentences, or bands that have complete sentences as names. Stop that, you know? Let's see here. Yeah, Pearl is beautiful. Yeah. Okay, let me see. I want to grab a couple. Oh my God, you guys. Dave McCrae hanging out. Dave, hopefully you are still kicking it on over here. Good afternoon, bud. Yeah, holy cow, Dave, it's been so long. I saw Dave in Frank Riker's chat the other night. It was like the Slaughtered Lamb mini reunion, or the unannounced reunion tour. I like that, the surprise show. Hope you're doing well. Also, Dave, yeah, man, I've just been really, I lead a pathetic life, and I have nothing else to do. No, I'm just joking. I love hanging out with the folks here, and I'm trying to make a bigger effort to do streams when like people in the UK can watch and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I just feel so comfortable with the live stuff. Like, I pick myself apart, and I don't know if you can relate to this, being a performer yourself for so many years, but I can be like a pretty harsh on myself when I'm doing pre-recorded stuff. Like, it just might take me a little bit longer. Whereas live, of course, I make mistakes and stutter and have flubs and all that stuff, but it's just sort of like, whatever. It's out there in the ether. It'll live that way forever, and I can deal with that a little bit more. Thank you so much, man, for stopping on in. Guys, Dave is such a huge inspiration to, you know, what I do here and wanting to get involved in YouTube and everything. I always talk about Barry and Drum Dums because I've been watching those guys for like 10 years now. But it was really just like the next year that I found Dave's channel, when he was covering the David Gordon Green Halloween 2018 news and everything like that. And at first, you know, I was like, who is this guy? This guy's talking like he knows everything. And then like the more I watch the videos, I'm like, all right. Oh, he's an industry guy. Okay, cool. So he probably does know close to everything about the way this stuff operates. And then from there, man, you know, just the lives and everything, and Dave's personality. It's funny because people were like, oh, you remind me of Dave McCrae. Like, people had said that, especially early on. I really don't hear it very much now. And I would think to myself, maybe there are little blips of time where I match that energy, but the Dave McRae energy is something that just can't be replicated, man. It cannot be replicated, although I could try to do my best imitation. But what fun, would that be? At least to keep it going forever. But Dave, I think my favorite Daveism is that thing. I love that, Dave, if you're still in the chat. The mood and atmosphere. That's another good one. That's a classic Dave McRaeism. Let's see here. That's another title. These titles are too long. That's not really that bad. I'm just fucking around. It really, guys, it's none of my business. I just like to joke about it. And keep in mind that sometimes I talk out of my ass for effect. So how about that? Gina says, Davey, have you heard that the exec who apparently didn't like the Buffy pilot got a promotion on Monday? No, I didn't hear that. The whole thing is kind of weird, guys. So I saw that Sarah Michelle Gellar is like, she had said something about that script that was leaked. And I looked closer as to what she said. And it sounds like what she's saying is that's not the finalized script, but she didn't deny that the script that I read like 3.5 pages of the other day, she didn't deny that was the script they used for the pilot. So I think what happened here, of course, it doesn't help if an executive doesn't really care. Projects run into that kind of stuff all the time. I'm sure Dave can back me up if he's still here. But even, something can get approved and maybe there's a change in executives, right? So a movie or a show gets approved and then maybe a new executive comes in, someone leaves, someone comes in, or maybe they do a wholesale change. And at that time, everything is kind of on the chopping block as far as I understand. Like, everything is sort of up in the air because who knows if those executives, they might not feel married to all of those projects. They might look at a couple of those projects and be like, I've never enjoyed this property. I've never understood what this property is all about. I am not going to really fight for this one or be a champion for this one. So, I mean, that's their own prerogative because, they've got to keep their jobs too. So executives are probably always thinking, man, if we don't really start making money, I'm going to be gone in like a couple of years, if that, right? So I think what happened here with the Buffy pilot is just that it was underwhelming and the executives and the network didn't really believe in it. And that is unfortunate, but I guess in the long run, it might be better for Buffy as a property because, sometimes projects can come out and they can be damaging to the property or just damaging to the legacy, I should say. So there you go. I didn't hear that he got a promotion, but maybe someday we'll see the pilot and then we can judge for ourselves, right? It is a very delicate thing whenever you're rebooting something and you're bringing back legacy characters. We've seen it fumbled quite a bit, in the last 15-ish years, right? I mean, some franchises have gotten it right. And of course, there's matters of opinion, right? Some people are going to say, oh, Halloween really got it right. And other people will be like, well, maybe at the beginning, stuff like that. But it is a really delicate thing. And judging from what I read the other night, the script that was apparently written by Nora and Leela Zuckerman, it didn't have the Joss Whedon quippiness. It was really lacking in the dialogue. So if it doesn't have that rat-a-tat-tat, it's something very specific. Go back and watch, Screams 5 and 6. I don't think they're terrible or anything. You can tell there's a difference with like when Kevin's writing and when Kevin's not writing. You can feel it. And I don't have the best things to say about Joss Whedon as far as like the personal shit. But as far as writing goes and writing the characters that he has created, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, it's so difficult to capture that. It really is. I don't know. It's difficult to explain. Like I don't know if I would want that job. It would be a very difficult job to step in and write a Buffy show that captures the feel, brings in new fans, and honors the legacy of the original show for the existing fans. Very, very difficult. Thank you for the question, Gina. Thank you. And hopefully I'm right in my postulation. What's happening? Nightmare Files. How are you doing, bud? Thank you so much for hanging on out. Erica's horror hubby. Look out. Yep, still YouTube married. You have to abuse the like button, you know? Your own personal like button. You gotta flick that like button. You know what I mean? Yeah, well, at least, you know, canceled before it even happened. So it doesn't do anything to damage. You know, they did comic books, extra seasons in the comic books for the original run of the show, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's too bad. I mean, if it were going to be good, it's too bad. If it were going to be bad, then it's good that it got canceled. Have a great one, Wayne. Thank you so much for spending some of your morning with us, man. And say hello to everyone Diamanda for me. There we go. We got a little bit of my Australian there. All right. As far as the Whedon properties, I'm looking forward to the animated Firefly, dude. Yes. Firefly and Serenity are great. They filled this void when we didn't have, we had the Star Wars prequels. They didn't really feel like Star Wars. Serenity and Firefly had a lot of moments, you know, that felt like original, like that lived in steampunky kind of, you know, world, like the original Star Wars movies. I really love it. I think Serenity's a lot of fun. I don't know. I think animated is kind of, the cool thing about it, Mike, is that even as actors get older, you know, we can still hear those voices and see these characters. We don't have to deal with, like, the age doesn't have to be part of the story. You know, like, we're running to a lot of these things with these legacy sequels where it's like, you bring back Harrison Ford for a 5th Indiana Jones. And he's incredibly old. He's a fantastic actor still, but it's like you can only do so much with him. And then in the story, you have to explain that you're trying to pass the baton. And I think it just sort of like muddies up a lot of stuff. So I think animation is actually kind of cool. In fact, I would love to see, you know, Robert Englund is like, I'm never going to play Freddy ever again. And it's like, okay, I get it. What about a mocap suit? What about like similar to what they did with the Nick Castle came back for the Halloween video game and they put him in the mocap suit, and then they hired a younger stunt performer to sort of take instruction from Nick and to perform the more physical stuff or just things that Nick couldn't do or whatever, you know. But why couldn't they do that with A Nightmare on Elm Street? Like, why couldn't you just, essentially it would be a deep fake, but a deep fake of the guy already playing the character, and you just make him look like Freddy from Dream Warriors or Dream Master or something like that. So I don't know. I don't mind the animated thing, but I hear you. It's not for every property, but for a smaller property, I think it's kind of a cool way of keeping it alive. Dave says, I know almost everything. Building something people tune into. Yeah, it is pretty crazy. Well, and what I'm trying to do too, Dave, is like, yeah, I talked about Scream 7 for a long time, but I also was aware of it, that even ramping up to it, I'm like, well, I don't want to just leave it, but I want to make sure to do other things. And then, you know, the fallout of a new horror movie, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like a all-out war starts every time one of these movies come out. People get dug in on certain opinions, almost like politics. Not everyone does it, but we certainly see it within the community. I mean, it's undeniable. So it kind of got to the point for me where I was like, well, I enjoyed the movie. It's like right in the middle of the franchise for me. I enjoyed it, and I was like, so I didn't have much to say after talking about it a little bit. Just wanted to kind of shake things up and do something different every time. So trying. I know that you are incredibly busy, Dave, but would love to have you back on the channel at some point. So yeah, even if we had to plan something out for way out, because it seems like things are going extremely well for you, which is awesome, man. I'm like, well, I was like, if Dave's backing off on the live stuff and focusing more on the pre-recorded, I'm like, well, that just must mean things are going really well for his main thing, his real career. So super happy for you, man. Really, really pumped. It's okay, Nightmare. Hey, we have fun here, right? We have fun. I love when you guys have the side stuff going on in the chat. I think it's great. I say it all the time, but really I feel like I'm just like emceeing this thing. It's like you guys are the real entertainment. I'm just the one that's like filtering like the messages and trying to like chime in when I can. But really, like you guys are the star of the show. It's a co-starring effort, right? It's like those old movies where you see the marquee and it's like Davey, Deathray, and chat. and the Davey Deathray is really big, and then it's like a month later, it's like Davey Deathray in chat, and it's like the same size text, and then like 2 months later, it's like chat, and then like with Davey Deathray, and you could barely even see the Davey Deathray. It's like that kind of montage from a movie. That's what we got going here. That's what we got going. All right, let's see here. It's so funny, guys. I have not even all my little like things I wanted to talk about, and here we are, just hanging out. Dave says, true, it was just a pilot, and many other pilots are shot that never see the light of day. Yeah, it would have been different if it were an entire season. Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's, I was saying the same thing where I was like, this happens all the time. We're just hearing about it because it's Buffy. And I mean, you know, with Ready or Not 2 coming out, the actress that was going to be the new Slayer, I know she's in a bunch of stuff that's been coming out recently or about to be released. So yeah, it's I think it's ultimately a good thing for the property. So they probably made the right call. There's some cringe dialogue. Let me just read a couple lines here. And I know it's out of context, but this is from the first like page of this script. So Stacy, our character here, got in trouble at a haunted maze. She gets in trouble, and then she's mad at her boyfriend. She's like, you could have at least defended me. And the boyfriend says, I didn't want to take away your agency, babe. You hate it when I dim your light. That is like, no one would ever say that. That is just written. It's like a virtue signal dialogue line. And then she says, that is so you, trying to weaponize my feminism against me. No one would ever say that either. And if they do, they need a trusted friend to slap them in the face. And then later on, she says, so much for freaking allies. So it's like, yeah, I mean, you got in trouble for breaking the rules. Your boyfriend didn't like fight a random person to get you to stay, and now he's not an ally. So just kind of, I don't know. I think they saw the writing on the wall of how this was going to shake out with the script the way it was. But yeah, it's funny, Dave. I saw your, the post on like the green light of Scream 8. Dude, I swear, like, almost every stream I'm on, people jump in and they're like, Scream 8 is greenlit. I saw it on this channel or that channel or whatever. And I'm like, I get it. I get it. It basically is, but I'm just saying it technically hasn't been yet. And on this channel, I want to wait until it's an official release to talk about it. That's all. Like maybe some content creators have like inside knowledge and all that kind of stuff, which is cool. Like it's not my job to tell anybody else what to do with their content. All I can do is say that I won't say it's official until I'm reading an official press release. At that point we'll know who's producing, we'll probably know who's directing and writing, and we'll have so much information, and it won't just be like assumption. But I mean, it sounds like they're ready to hit the ground running. Like they've turned the treadmill on and they're just waiting to jump on and get going. But it is funny. There is that, Dave, you talk about it all the time, that the nuance and everything, and it seems to permeate almost every corner of our social existence, where there are the people that really do appreciate and want to pay attention to nuance, and then folks that just aren't really concerned with that, so I get it. I'm probably pretty boring for a lot of people because I'm like, no, it's not official yet. Wait, everybody. We need to wait. Class, sit down. I'm going to flick on and off the lights. That's probably how I sound, I would imagine. Maybe not as nasally, but maybe to some. Let's see here, guys. Okay, so I'm all caught up. I wanted a couple things, guys. A couple random things. Ready or Not 2, Here I Come discussion. It's coming. We're going to talk about it next week. The reason why is because They Will Kill You is coming out next week. The plots have these very similar elements. Satanic cults have, sacrificing young women for, to ensure lengthened survival, or what, what I mean? Just sacrificial or else kind of movies. Very similar thematically, at least from those basic points that we know. So I wanted to watch They Will Kill You and then have a discussion on both movies, kind of comparing them. I know Ready or Not 2 is a sequel, but it is, I'm just going to say it, it's a retread. So it's pretty much the same as the original as far as like the basic plot goes. So I just want to kind of compare these two movies, which elements one did better than the other, all that kind of stuff. these movies were originally going to come out on the same day, and then they, you know, got separated, which I think is a good thing for both movies ultimately. But I think in a sense, at least for us like horror nerds, I feel like there's kind of these movies are kind of tied together, and we might, you know, I thought it would be kind of cool to have a discussion about them sort of being connected at the hip because they're similar and they're coming out at the same time. So I'm going to have a chat on that one. And I believe our pal, Julie Lynn, who is one of our channel members, you've seen her on Night Watch Zone. She's been, I believe Killjoy Jake's had her on over there. Just a whole bunch, you know, Craven Something Scary. You know, she was a guest over there for, you know, a whole bunch. So we're going to have Julie come on over and we're going to do a discussion on those two movies. So planning that for next weekend. I don't have a time or anything, but I would imagine probably Sunday. So keep an eye out for that, guys. Just want to let you know. Guys, I finally watched Cobra last night. Finally watched Cobra. Sylvester Stallone, 1986. You know, it was the movie that Sly was going to be in Beverly Hills Cop. And then when he found out Beverly Hills Cop was going to be like a wacky, zany comedy, he was like, no, I want to do something really serious. And so they basically took, you know, a book that had been written that is this crime story, kind of like a slasher, but also a gritty cop drama. And you know what surprised me with Cobra? Of course, 86, so it's got over-the-top violence. Love it. Like 80s action movies are just amazing. The over-the-top violence, really fun. A whole bunch of one-liners. And I actually thought Sly, I'm going to give him like some extra credit on this one because some of his lines really did make me laugh. And I felt like the jokes they put in here, they used them at the right time. They weren't joking during like all the kind of horror aspects. There were just these little quippy, cute moments that I was like, I don't know. I was kind of surprised to see. But yeah, this movie was fun, man. I really enjoyed Cobra. First time watch, celebrating 40 years this year. Happy I finally watched it. And then one other thing I just want to put out there. This has nothing to do with horror. I don't know. Why are the Sex Pistols touring without Johnny Rotten? Why are they have this other guy singing? I watched some videos. I tried to like it. His voice just isn't as bright as Johnny's. So I'm like, if you're going to replace him, can you at least replace him with somebody that kind of sounds like him? Because I think there's a huge step down from and I don't know what Johnny sounds like now, but I'd imagine he sounds okay because he's going on tour with Public Image Limited. Johnny has this really bright voice that like cuts above everything. It's like it like shoots through the clouds, right? And it just brings in this element. This singer doesn't have it. And I mean, I think I know why. And it's a dumb reason why Johnny Rotten's not on tour with them, but I think it's politics, which is fucking absurd when you consider that the Sex Pistols, even though they weren't, they're considered like the first punk band or one of the first punk bands. I mean, fuck, like I think you can go back to the mid 60s and find the first punk band. Like I would say the Kinks are the closest thing to what I would say is like the first punk band. Yeah, because people would say, oh, the Stooges were punk. I've listened to all these Stooges songs, and I'm like, what is punk rock about, like, these songs? Like, the Doors are just as punk rock then as the Stooges. Like, but I would say the Kinks. All of the Night and You Really Got Me Going, or You Really Got Me. Like, those songs are fucking punk songs. But anyways, it's so absurd that the Sex Pistols are doing this for politics, because not that punk rock, that you can't have like your morals that you stick with in punk rock and everything, but like the idea that you would just kick somebody straight out. The Sex Pistols used to all be about like, fuck your opinion kind of thing. And I liked that. Like they got arrested. They played God Save the Queen on a ship on the river in front of Buckingham Palace or whatever in London, and got arrested for doing something like that, which is, yeah, it's kind of a stunt or whatever, but it's like, that's who they used to be. And now they don't want their original singer on tour with them for politics. Fuck. Like, I guess the rest of the band is kind of like the British Crown then. Like, I guess there are sort of a little protective and maybe a little corrupt in their own way. Anyways, I know that has nothing to do with anything. It just bugs me. It bugs me because the guy doesn't sound as good as Johnny Rotten. If he sounded as good as him, I would understand it a little bit more. I would assume it would be because of the voice. And because as you get older, he can't sing as well, blah, 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 blah. But a punk band pushing out a singer that has felt the same way he's felt since the 70s. Johnny Rotten didn't change the way he was. Like the other guys changed and became, I'm just going to say it, mini fascists. I love it. I don't understand all that stuff. I know I try not to like to dive really into politics here. It just kind of cracks me up a little bit. It is the one where he eats pizza with scissors. He cuts the pizza. It only happens once, but it's a very memorable moment. It's very odd because he just cuts the thing in half and then just picks it up with his hand anyway. So I'm like, you could have just taken a bite of the pizza. Later on, he's eating like a green apple. There's all sorts of business. But I would say Sly was really charming in Cobra, especially like I think maybe even more so than other performances I've seen him in. Don't get me wrong, Rocky's fucking amazing. I just mean charming, you know, especially as a cold-blooded cop. Yeah. I've got Nevermind the Bollocks on vinyl. Yeah, that's a fun one, man. There's just something about the energy that this new singer, I don't know if you guys have heard him, but if you look it up, it just doesn't quite match for me. It's just like karaoke from somebody he's a good singer, don't get me wrong. He can hit the notes. He just doesn't have the character in his voice is not what I, imagine when I think of the Sex Pistols. It is, yes. And I know a lot of people, like I've seen a lot of people that are like, people think like you just think it's punk to be different or whatever. And it's just like, it's anti-establishment. So I just kind of get grossed out when I see people that are like, well, we're supposed to be like, punk is anti-establishment. And when I grew up, punk was like apolitical. It was sort of like, all these fuckers are terrible, which is like, that's kind of where I'm at. And now, and especially after the pandemic, it's like, no. Punk rock is actually hyper left wing. Was sort of like the messaging from the bands. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, I'm sort of confused. Like, I always thought it was like that you guys had, almost like your own set of morals, that punk rock as a community had things that we just weren't really willing to give up for any politician or any party. Well, 2020 happened and we saw how that played out in a really big, upsetting kind of way. Dave says it's very likely Scream 8 will happen given the success of 7, but it hasn't been officially greenlit. No, yeah, exactly. We know there have been little things about, they're working on it in the background. Kevin says he has a couple ideas. Like I've heard like that kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's all well and good. They could be doing that. They probably are. I'm like, I treat it like an actual news show here. It's like very self-important on the Davey Deathray channel. But yeah, man, I'm really hoping Kevin comes back. Dave, I don't know. I'm not going to assume that you've seen any of my recent Scream stuff, but I'm curious to know from you, and Nightmare from you as well, because you cover all sorts of horror stuff as well. I think Kevin is kind of negotiating in public. When he said that he probably won't return, I've got this movie that I wrote that I really want to direct, and then there's this TV show, and I might direct a couple episodes. To me, and I'm not in the industry or anything like that, but to me, I was like, that sounds like he wants Paramount to come back to him and be like, hey, so Scream 7 was the most successful movie in the franchise. We really want you to come back. And Kevin's like, I don't know. And they're like, how about this? You sign up for Scream 8. We'll make sure your movie that you wrote that you want to direct, we'll make sure that gets made. We'll bring that in. We'll give you a development deal there. We'll make sure that movie happens. Let's just knock out Scream 8 really quick, and then we'll let you have your little project, right? Because I mean, that's like something that I've heard of happening, with other filmmakers and everything. And I think this is the perfect situation for that, because Kevin still isn't like a hot name director, but I don't know, maybe this is a hot take. I think he did a really good job directing the movie, because I really love the performances. Like, there were a couple Anna Camp moments where I was like, she seems a little stiff there or whatever, like earlier on in the movie. But by and large, man, I thought the performances were great. And I'm like, well, that's the director's first job, right? Like, so as a writer, he came in and revamped the script. directed the hell out of these actors for a guy that hasn't directed a movie in 26 years, 1999 Teaching Mrs. Tingle, right? So for him to come in and do that, like, and then of course, you know, the hiring of the crew, like everyone behind the camera, man, like I thought the movie looked really good. I thought it was the kinetic energy during the fight scene in the Evans house. Like that was like close quarters fighting in the hallway. Like we haven't seen that in a Scream movie. So, you know, hiring the right DP and a good editor to like make all that stuff just feel so, I don't know, not like the whole movie feels different, but there are those moments where you're like, okay, I've never seen this in this franchise yet. So I hope he comes back, and I hope he gets to kind of build it from the ground up, just so that way they can hand it off to somebody else from there, right? I think I've said it a couple of times. Scream 7 is almost kind of like a reclamation project in a way for Kevin. He's coming in, having to write some characters he didn't create, and having to sort of set the franchise back on track, so to speak, at least from the perspective of the executives, I'm sure, and maybe him. And then just have Scream 8 be his own idea, a launch pad for moving on from Sydney, moving things to her daughter Tatum. Screams 9 and 10 or whatever that they're gonna make them probably. They've already been greenlit. Screams 9 and 10 could just be kind of a new chapter for the franchise. But I don't know. I'm curious to know what you guys think that talk about this stuff and cover this stuff, and especially Dave, since you have experience in the industry so much. Yeah, it's true, and it's a bummer. Now, I don't know. Maybe Johnny Rotten said some things to them, or maybe he's like, I don't know everything the guys said. Maybe they just like had a personal falling out because of the different beliefs or whatever. But I don't know. It's just, I guess we'll find out what his voice is like with Public Image Limited. I think they're a pretty exciting band too, so I'm curious. Since everyone loves your voice, can you read us a poem called Invictus? It's short. I'm sure that's some sort of gotcha joke, and now I'm gonna look it up. Poem. William Ernest Henley. Let's see here. It is pretty short. I don't really, I need to read this ahead of time before I just read it on stream though, Nightmare. But yeah, guys, I got the Halloween Ends novel. You want me to read that little ASMR reading project? I heard this novel has a bunch of really cool stuff in it. I mean, you guys know I'm a Halloween Ends fan anyway, but I heard the book's even better. How about that? My brother was banned from playing the Sex Pistols when Mom was home. She couldn't stand them. They were, they were brash for the time and everything. I was so surprised the first time I listened to Nevermind the Bollocks. I didn't expect like solos, and I didn't expect like slick production, for the time and everything. But I was like, damn, these guys sound really good for having heard my whole life that the Sex Pistols couldn't play. Like, no, it was just Sid that couldn't play. Yeah, what can you do? And Sid wasn't even there for like the writing process, like I think Glenn Matlock is back in the band now. He wrote most of the songs on Nevermind the Bollocks. I think Sid only helped write, I think Bodies was Sid's song, and I don't think he helped write any of the other tracks on there. But that was the one. Yeah, we'll do a little duet. We can do a pre-recorded, we can pass it off, right? Pass it off. Pass it off. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They assume it's happening. Yeah, exactly. Yep. They just love saying the term. There was one person in particular, and I didn't want to be a jerk to them, but every time they jumped in, they kept on saying it's greenlit. I saw it on this channel or whatever. And I'm like, dude, I'm trying to be really nice here, but like, I'll say it for the fourth time. It is not. It's probably going to happen. It's going to happen, but it's not. And I'll talk about it when it is. I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like such a jerk. Why am I just the thief of joy from these people that want to act like it's greenlit when it's not? Vanilla is a good flavor, Jigsaw. I think vanilla, when people say, oh, it's so vanilla. No, I like vanilla. I love vanilla. Give me a vanilla cone over a chocolate cone. Yep. Let's go. Let's friggin' go. And then anything with like a scoop of ice cream in it. Like a Guinness float. I mean, I don't drink anymore, but Guinness float, super tasty. Root beer float, super tasty. I don't know. Vanilla ice cream. Pretty damn good. Yeah. Oh my God. Just don't use. Wait, that can't be real. Is that real, Erica? That is shocking. Yeah. Oh my gosh. With all this talk about Punk, gonna have to watch Repo Man tonight. So good. Yeah. Black Flag and Repo Man. What? Dead Kennedys are in there too. I think, aren't the Dead Kennedys like actually in the movie? They're like dressed up in suits as like a band at a bar. I think so. It is. I mean, they used to be like Green Day had their, they were homeless after their first 2 tours. Signed to a major label. And I still think even through like Nimrod, I think Green Day had it musically. Like Nimrod might be my favorite record. I think Warning is pretty good too, but it is pretty different. A much more jangle rock, acoustic kind of driven pop punk record. But Nimrod's amazing. And I think they lost their edge clearly. Like I think American Idiot is pretty weak. Just musically speaking, I don't think the album's very interesting sonically. They're like long 10-minute songs are not very engaging for being 10-minute songs. Like you want to hear an epic punk rock song that is absolutely engaging and a beautiful piece of music from start to finish, then check out The Decline by NoFX. It's like 18 minutes, 20 seconds long, but it's like all of these songs that become this beautiful monster together. And it's this huge like musical, it's like it has all these movements in it. It's really, really interesting. And it says way more about society and us than American Idiot did, really. Yeah, Green Day can sit there in their makeup chairs backstage at their arena shows and talk about how it's like the man is just so terrible. And I'm like, you guys are millionaire rock stars that wear eyeliner. Like, okay, what do you know about real actual life? It's been 35 years since those guys have lived real actual life. I think she will be a good Daphne. Yeah. I had no idea she was the little girl from the Ghostbusters movies. I didn't see either one of them. So that probably helps that I had no idea. But yeah, I'm like, I guess that's right. It's just a handful of years, when somebody's right at that age, and then a handful of years later, they just look like a totally different person. I know her hair is all different and everything like that. It's just wild how, especially when you don't follow someone's career, it's seemingly like they just grew up overnight, Oh, those are great too. Yeah, like 39 Smooth and Kerplunk are really fun as well. Like Christy Road is one of the best Green Day songs I think of all time. And yeah, man, Kerplunk, One for the Razorbacks. That's another really good one. Yeah, if you guys haven't spent time with Kerplunk, that's a really, really fun record to hang out with for a little bit. This is the first record they had Trey Cool on drums. But I think John Kiffmeyer, the original drummer for Green Day, was really good. If you listen to 1039 Smooth Out Slappy Hours, like his style, Trey has his own style for sure, but it feels like Trey either adopted some of his style as like a conscious choice, or they just both happen to have this really cool thing they do. This is music nerd shit. When you only have one guitar in a band, well, now Green Day has 2 guitars and a keyboard, but when they're just a 3-piece, you only have one guitar and you want to like fill up some space, right? One thing I've noticed is Trey, he plays with his hi-hat. So the hi-hat will be like kind of closed. He'll sort of open it and then he'll sort of close it again. Like he does, like as you go through the verse. So he's doing this dynamic thing with the hi-hat, and cymbals kind of create a distorted sort of sound. So it almost fills in as like a second guitar. It helps him control the dynamics even more. And that's something that I felt like John did on 39 Smooth. Like he kind of brought that to the earlier stuff. And I love all the cheesy love songs that Green Day has on those early records. Guys, when I was 12 years old, that was like my favorite kind of shit. Like the Judge's Daughter and 1000 Hours and Road to Acceptance and like all these other cheesy Green Day songs I just love to death. Yeah, pop punk for sure. Yeah. And I consider it's like pop punk is like a part of punk. So it's like, yeah, they were always pretty damn poppy for sure. And way more blues driven earlier on. Like on the first 2 records, they're, Billy Joe is like ripping solos and stuff like that, which they got away from really quick. Could be a negotiating tactic for leverage on the Scream 8, or he just wants to step away. Yeah. He's a writer, not really a director, so maybe he's scratched the Scream itch and is ready to move on. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. I would like to think that he would want that one movie where he could potentially have like total control, even if he wants to bring in people to help him write and stuff like that. And I'm probably just being selfish as a fan. Like I liked Scream 7 and I think he could do even better, if he had another crack at it. So yeah, it's so interesting to see how these things play out in public. And I like, especially from like athletes and stuff, I think that's where I've learned a lot of like the negotiating in public stuff, because I'm a big sports nerd too. And I notice athletes do that all the time, the public negotiating and acting like they're not going to do this or would never do that. For example, this is some sports talk here. So get ready for sports talk. Myles Garrett from the Cleveland Browns was like, I'm done playing with the Browns. They don't care about winning a championship. I am not going back no matter what. They can offer me however much money. I've already told them I'm going to leave and I'm going to be playing for somebody else next year. And he said that for months. And then he signed with the Cleveland Browns because they made him the highest paid defensive player of all time. So it's like, oh, there you go. Like the money definitely talks. And if Paramount's smart, they will at least try to offer Kevin Williamson a Godfather deal, right? Like they'll everything they can offer him. I'm sure they will. And I think they would be right to do so. I try to look at this stuff, guys, from a pragmatic standpoint, right? Like I know a lot of people didn't like Scream 7, but it's like, fuck, it made a lot of money. They're going to make another one. That's just quality of movie doesn't matter. It's quality of income from the movie that matters most. It doesn't always mean, it isn't always contingent on just the dollar, as we saw, we've seen before. Star Wars has been running into that. I don't know if Disney's made any money off Star Wars. Here's another hot take, and I know I'm all over the place, but we have Dave McCrae in the chat, so I guess my energy is, what if George Lucas bought Star Wars back from Disney for like a crazy cut rate because they've not been able to make money off of it? That would be crazy. Like if Grogu and the Mandalorian or whatever that movie's called doesn't do well, which, oh my God, it looks like they just cobbled together unused episodes from the TV show. It does not look like a feature film. I don't know what happened. A lot of movies don't look cinematic anymore. It fucking bugs the hell out of me. Like, I don't think, like I just said, Frankenstein, like I thought it was a good movie. Frankenstein did not feel cinematic to me. It felt like a streaming thing. It didn't have that grit to it or whatever I'm looking for visually. Like even I just saw Project Hail Mary, which, the guys that got fired from the Han Solo movie worked on. And it's like, oh my God, look at what movies they're making now. Like Project Hail Mary was gorgeous. Like it looked really good, really solid performances. It was a long movie that didn't feel long. And it kind of was like a throwback to like 90s feel good. Like there's drama and there are stakes and there are moments where you fear for your character. But the overall sense when you walk out of the theater reminds me of the mid 90s, like a Robert Zemeckis or Rob Reiner kind of movie where you go through these, something like Forrest Gump, where you have these dramatic situations and you see these bad things happen, but ultimately you walk out of the theater with a little warmth in your belly and you're like, I just watched something that makes me want to like smile and go make a friend, It's amazing. It felt like such an old school thing. I was like, wow, I haven't had this feeling from a movie in a really long time. But that movie had like a cinematic look. And I just noticed that, sometimes they just fall a little short, as far as the look of the film goes and everything. But yeah, let's see what else we got going on here. Holy cow, guys, hour and 45. You all are amazing. Yeah, it's kind of like Springsteen too. I never got into Bruce Springsteen. And I'm like, dude, you are so at it. Like, how can any rock star be in touch with the real world? Go out and live a little, bro. Boom, 223 days until Halloween. Oh my God, dude, halfway to Halloween's coming up, guys. End of April is halfway to Halloween. So we're going to do another marathon over here. I'm going to do another charity 10-hour like marathon fundraiser for the food bank out here in the Phoenix area. So if you're a content creator, I might be bugging you about that. There used to be an atmosphere of less negative, more positive in here. What is happening? I save my shredding for stuff I really hate a lot. Well, we got all sorts of new people jumping in and out. I haven't seen everything, Jamie, but I'll take credit for the negativity that I bring in here. But we can move it on over to talk about something that we love. What's something we love we want to talk about? Davey Deportes would be a great name for a Davey Sports Nerd channel. I would love it if I had time, if this were like my job and I could start a second channel just for fun, because I am a massive sports nerd, like very, very nerdy. Runaway train never coming back. Little Soul Asylum. Gotta love him. What's happening, Rick B? Jammin'. Yeah, let's see. Was there anything else? I'll take credit for the negativity because I started out with the Sex Pistols thing there, Jamie. So I'll take credit for that. I didn't really have anything else on the agenda, guys. I mean, really, I just wanted to hang out with you for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that, just to kick it and just to chat. We reached the super chat goal. Thank you so very much to everyone that participated in making that goal happen. As a result, guys, I am going to host a scary movie watch party here, which I'm trying to get away from the negativity. We'll see how that goes. It's probably going to be more fun for you guys than it'll be for me, which, you know, if I had to pick if I'm having fun or you guys are having fun, I'll let you have the fun. How about it? But I just want to shine a light on everybody that threw down on the goal. We got Jigsaw with a 2, Shannon with a 2, Jiggy with another 2, Ryan Michael with a 5, Jiggy with a 2, Ryan Michael with a 2, Carrie with a 2, Jiggy with a 2, Hollywood Lido with a 2, Carrie with a 2, Ryan with a 2, Horror M from Horror with a 2-pounder. Oh yeah. Let's see here. Todd was telling me I should check out Board Gaming. There we go. Dead of Winter. All right, I could be down for watching a little zombie gaming. Mike asked me what my favorite Chuck Norris movie is. He says I got Delta Force. Depressing time for 90s kids. Hulk Hogan and Chuck Norris were legends for us. Yeah, you know, I'm trying to think of like all the like Invasion USA. I'm pretty sure I've seen that. I might have only seen that and Delta Force out of like the mainline like Chuck Norris movies. So I guess I would say Delta Force as well. You know, yeah, I would say that. And as far as Hulk Hogan goes, it's got to be Suburban Commando. What a movie! What a movie. Let's see here. Yeah, guys, please mind the mods. And let's just, yeah, I mean, you know, I get it. I'm not here to close off anyone's speech or anything like that. But yeah, we can just, you know, be a little more positive in the chat. And Mike, dude, I'm just like, I just wouldn't play like when one of the mods asks you to do something if they're asking you and then another mod backs it up. Like, just be cool. You know, we like people. We want you to hang out here. But we can't have people hanging out here and, you know, causing problems with the moderators. You know, there's a reason why I entrust those people with the moderating duties and all that. So, yeah. Oh, okay, cool. I can't see, like on the StreamYard side, if you guys time somebody out or anything, I don't see it. So just thought I'd give them the business there. But hey, this is a great time to say how amazing you guys are in this community, because we rarely deal with any issues here in the chat. I know part of that is because this is a rinky-dink channel that doesn't even have 3,000 subs. But I do feel like there's something special there that a lot of you guys are. I mean, I would say the core people, the people that keep on coming back, even if as we get new people and they keep on coming back and become, you know, a bigger or just more involved in the community, I feel like the consistent group is so well behaved. There are some times where I jump on a stream and maybe none of the mods can make it, and we're a-okay because you guys are so cool that way. So I do want to just, you know, show appreciation for everyone that is well behaved and badass. It's a motivational poem. Okay, so you want me to read it right now? You want me to do you want me to display it on the screen, or should I just read it? Here we go, guys. I will do my play the horror board games. I did one of these. It was like you're in a house that's like falling apart and like ghosts and stuff are chasing you around. Hey, if it's Halloween related, I'll play it. I really like the Jaws game, the Ravensburger Jaws game. So good. Oh my God, that game is so good. Okay. Thank you guys for taking care of that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. If somebody can't behave after two moderators say something and their response is basically like, relax, like when he's saying, I don't like when I read it like that, I almost read in a condescending sweetheart, you know, relax, sweetheart. It was just a joke. Like, and that's the thing you'll notice that not even just trolls on the internet, real life trolls will do that too. They'll push and they'll push and they'll push and they'll push. And then when you actually get upset, they're like, whoa, I was just joking. What's the big deal? And it's like, no, you were like purposely trying to aggravate. And now you're probably embarrassed and a little bit of ashamed of how you've been acting. And the way you just sort of like push those real feelings away is to be like, I was just joking. So ridiculous. So ridiculous. Ooh, Silent Rage that is a fucking killer title. That is Silent Rage. Oh my God. That is a 2-word phrase that like says so much. I think I gotta sorry for the plosive, guys. I gotta get one of those filters. Silent Rage. It also sounds like you know, like you eat something really bad at a restaurant, like everything's fine, and then like on the drive home, there's like, and you're like, oh, that was weird. And then you're like, oh my God, I'm about to have a silent rage. Do I have any upcoming horror actors or actresses I'm watching out for? I'm watching you. Austin, honestly, I'm so out of touch with a lot of younger performers that they don't really get on my radar until they're in something that I'm watching. Like McKenna Grace, first time I ever saw her was Scream 7. Isabel May, first time I ever saw her, Scream 7. The male actors, never even heard of them before until Scream 7. So that's kind of how out of it I am. But as far as like younger actors that I really enjoy, I mean, I'll say this, like, you know, we're going to get into a bigger Ready or Not 2 discussion. Catherine Newton was really good. Like I think she impressed me a little bit more than Samara, who's pretty damn good too. So Catherine Newton, very solid. I know she's been in the game for a bit, you know, third Paranormal Activity or something, but I just saw that movie for the first time. So my first time ever seeing Catherine Newton in anything was Abigail. So yeah, I like Catherine Newton. Zazie Beetz or Zazie Beetz, I don't know if she says her name. I've never met her, haven't been able to ask. I really like her quite a bit. Like Joker, Have Fun, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. And then she was in something else. Oh, Deadpool 2. I really liked her in that. So yeah, and then I'm trying to think, what are some male? I mean, Jacob Elordi is on my radar now because of his performance as the creature in the Frankenstein movie. So I'm trying to be better about that now, especially now that I'm watching more movies. I just want to be more aware of the, you know, up and coming performers and everything like that. But yeah, it's a good question. Good question. All right. I mean, you got to do it. Like the mods got to have each other's back, right? So there you go. Okay, really, I am gonna Nightmare. Are you still kicking it with us? I'll read this poem, and then we got T. Parker has joined us. What's happening, T? Welcome on in. All right, so I'm gonna read this poem, and hopefully it's not weird. No, it's supposed to be an encouraging poem. I've been told by Nightmare Files himself. Now let me open it up so I don't have to like squint. Okay, there we go. Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeoning of chance, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. There you go. That's my first time ever reading it. Hopefully I did it justice. Thank you for the suggestion. I got some goosebumps. That is a really good, self-empowerment. That's kind of like something you could read every morning before you go and attack that day. You know what I mean? Drive safe out there, David/Ruthie. T. Parker says, how would you rank the radio silence movies? Terrible. No. For me, Ready or Not, Scream 5, Abigail, Scream 6, Ready or Not 2. Oh, man. I might switch Scream 5 and Abigail in my ranking, but I think it's pretty similar to yours. God. Like, yeah. It's like, do I want to keep on hating on Scream 6 and put it in the bottom? And yeah. Ready or Not 2 was... It's weird. It's not like it was bad. It was just quite a bit of a retread. I was hoping they were going to do some different stuff, but I'm gonna save all the chatter. I know not everyone's seen that movie yet, so we'll talk about it next week, guys. Good Guys Wear Black and The Octagon are my favorite Norris flicks. Saw them as a double feature at the drive-in. I haven't seen either one of those. Damn. Leo Letty hanging out. Yeah, I mean, so if he's joking, but then when somebody tells you to like chill, then it's just a good idea to just like chill from there. I don't think they overreacted. I find Catherine Newton to be typecast as playing the same character. She was miscast in Ready. I liked her performance quite a bit. I think she brought like those, the more emotional moments I was feeling from her more than I was feeling from Samara. But I would say maybe like out of everything in Ready or Not 2, the performances were, you know, one of the parts that I look at as more favorable. Yeah. Daddy Davey. Oh, are you talking about the reading? Okay. I think that's what you guys are remarking. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you. You never know when you're. I figured it was going to be it was going to have that da kind of rhythm. But it's like when you first read a poem, you might not get the rhythm right at the beginning, and then you figure it out as you're saying it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you know, I think Mike was relatively new here. Maybe he won't come back. I did see there were certain chats that whatever. I'm not trying to talk smack about the guy. Everyone's welcome here, guys. It's just, I did notice that there were a lot of, you know, negative chats that I chose not to, you know, bring up here on the screen. So there was stuff before even the mods talking to him. So you're very welcome, man. It's beautiful. I will, I'm going to keep it pulled up here in my tabs, and just, I think that's a nice little motivational thing to read, you know, probably every day or whenever you're feeling, you know, a little down or something. Oh no, yeah, I mean, it was the experience was fine. Like, I think if you radio silence makes popcorn movies. I'll say that. So if the general audience is going to like this movie, and I would say if you enjoyed the first movie and you're the kind of person that also, like, you know, I don't have anything against this. If you're also the kind of person that's like, sometimes you just shut off your brain and just sit there and watch the movie, like, I think Ready or Not 2 definitely works for that. I can't help but be hypercritical, so I'm gonna be like Debbie Downer about about certain things that maybe some people really wouldn't. And so yeah, I don't, you know, no sorries. I'll tell you this. Here's what you could be sorry for, Jamie, and thanks for jumping on in, man. Half of the house lights were on for the first 15 minutes. I had to tell the people at the theater twice, and like these lights just like, like beaming into my eye as I'm trying to look at the screen. It was very distracting. Very distracting. Little bit. Yeah. I don't want to say anymore. Except I do think that there's a third movie that's going to come, and I think it's going to be a crossover with Abigail. That's what I'll say. That's what I'll say about that. Yeah, it was maybe one of the least offensive, but there was plenty of stuff that I saw in there. So I think it's at that point, like, you guys, I trust you mods to pull the ripcord, you know, when you're feeling it, you know. I would say most of the acting was really good. I'll talk about all that stuff more specifically next week, guys. I don't want to, you know, put it out too far, you know, say everything now. She's a cutie patootie, man. She is. Gotcha. Okay, he did. Yeah, I saw some comment in there about moderators on another channel. So I think that I'm guessing that would have turned into a problem at some point. It was just a matter of time. So yeah, here's what I'll say, T, is while watching that movie, because of the way that some of that action was shot, I was like, all right, well, their Mummy movie should at least be entertaining for a general audience. Like, they might be, like, their humor doesn't quite land with me. That's my concern about their Mummy movie. But if they have some good people writing it, I think Fraser brings a lot of that humor with his timing and his performance. So I think that this Mummy movie could be huge for Radio Silence. Like, they're gonna bust through the mainstream bubble, you know, out of horror and into you know, into just mainstream pop films. Jamie drops a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Jamie Vicha 1660 says, thoughts about Talk to Me, Bring Her Back, and the Filippo brothers. I think they're so talented, man. I loved Talk to Me. I thought, like, I just watched it like a year ago, I think, for the first time. So I let all the hype subside. There was so much when it came out, right? A lot of people were like, oh my God, this is like the greatest thing ever. And it's tough to, sometimes I think, you know, at least it can be this way for me. I'm sure for, you know, for some of you guys, it can be tough to really enjoy something when it has that hype cloud surrounding it. So, you know, watched it a couple years after it came out, or a few years after it came out, whatever it was. And I really enjoyed Talk to Me. I thought it was really cool. I love seeing actors that are like, first off, they're hiring people from their home country, and they're hiring really talented performers that I've never seen before. So I love that. Like, we can use all the great performers that we can get. Like, there's, you know, no shortage of great actors. So, or there shouldn't be, you know, we should be welcoming those folks on in. Bring Her Back, to me, I didn't enjoy as much as Talk to Me, but I would say as a film, it's just as well made of a film. Bring Her Back, to, like, I think it's just a taste thing on like which one you would prefer. The old hag kind of thing and Bring Her Back is less interesting to me than the mystery of like the hand and all that kind of stuff in Talk to Me. But Bring Her Back is a very effective film. Man, multiple times in that movie, I was like cringing in my seat because of, you know, teeth stuff. So that's always been teeth and nails have always been difficult for me. So if you're ever making a horror movie and you're like, I want to make Davey Deathray squirm in his chair, then some nails, you know, getting pulled backwards or some teeth breaking, that'll do it. Especially if you do it the way they did it and Bring Her Back. But I'm so looking forward to whatever these guys do next in their career. I know a lot of people, or, you know, I've heard them name dropped for they should jump into this franchise, they should do a movie in this franchise. I am more of the mind of I want to see talented creators like doing their own thing, you know? So, you know, if they ended up making a franchise film, of course that would be their own decision, but I'm like, man, they got some really good ideas. They should just keep on doing their own thing because they're doing really well. So yeah, I dig the Filippo brothers. And I wasn't, not that I'm not a fan of their YouTube stuff. I had never experienced any of their YouTube stuff. So I'm not somebody that's like a longtime fan of the content and really very aware of what they did with Raka Raka. Like, I don't really know. But what I do know is that I think they make really damn good movies, and it's very encouraging, and a rising tide raises all ships. It's great for other content creators that have aspirations and the talent and the means to, you know, become or continue their filmmaking dreams. You know, like our guy Dave McCrae that was in the chat just earlier, you know, is a filmmaker as well. So the more people can see success coming from folks that have a YouTube audience. Now, that's not all. Dave has been in the industry for decades, so he's got so much more than that. But it certainly doesn't hurt when people like the Filippo brothers and gosh, what's the guy's name? He's got a little bit of a different kind of name. The guy that's doing Obsession that did Milk and Cereal. Like when those people, you know, get to the spot where they're putting out movies in theaters, it's so beneficial for other content creators that want to have those filmmaking dreams realized as well. Thank you so much for the $5, Jamie. I really do appreciate you. Are you the Filippo brothers are Australian, right? New Zealand? New Zealand. Is it New Zealand or Australia? I don't know why I can't remember that. Are you, I'm guessing you're a big fan? Are you from the Filippo brothers' native land? Eric and Jamie really are the best mods. You know when you have fun, but bring the hammer down. Yes. Oh, they're great. They're great. And honestly, Jamie and Erica have, there's a little bit of a different kind of, you know, different personalities working together so well. I love it. Cool. Yeah. And well, and Leo, here we go. So in the interest of just not talking about it anymore, we'll just all stop talking about it. There we go. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I just didn't want to offend. If we had any Kiwis, is that even acceptable to call somebody from New Zealand a Kiwi? I don't even know. I don't know if I would like being called a fruit. Well, a specific fruit. Like all Americans are apples because New York is the big apple, you know? Okay, let's see here. Guys, I think that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else on the agenda. I feel like we've had a really good flowing discussion here for over 2 hours. That's incredible. You guys have been amazing with the super chat love. Thank you so very much. I'll be putting together a watch party for next weekend for Scary Movie. So we'll figure that out. And then what else do I have coming up? Tomorrow for the members, we're doing Horror Movie Club. I still have to build that stream. Keep an eye out for it. We're going to be discussing Stand By Me and Misery. We're going to do a little Rob Reiner, tribute, essentially. So two vastly different stories written by Stephen King. And, I guess, literature becoming a different form of literature. So we're going to talk about the thematic elements. Since they're both Stephen King stories, let's see, we're going to see what kind of ties or through lines or any sort of similarities or stuff like that we're seeing. So we're going to be doing that tomorrow for the channel members. Really fun. I love the Horror Movie Club. It's cool to talk about themes and to talk about things on a little bit of a deeper level and not just talk about whether you liked the part of the movie or stuff like that. So I really dig that. And then later on tomorrow evening, so I believe it'll be 7 p.m. Eastern for the members. And then at 9 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be on with Lee from Drum Dums and Nick from the Lost River Drive-In. We're going to do Hit the Bricks. So we're going to have our in memoriam of the people that we've lost. We're also going to talk about some other horror news that's out there. So look out for that coming on down. And yeah. Amen. So yeah, plenty of stuff coming here on the channel. Coming up here on the channel. Never say coming on the channel. Coming up here on the channel. And yeah, guys, this has been great. Thank you so very much. Again, thank you for all the super chats, all the love. I'm seeing new channel members come in. Guys, it's so encouraging and so awesome. This community is growing. We are getting closer and closer to that 3,000 mark. So if you've got a pal out there that you think would dig what we're doing over here, yeah, let them know. Share the channel, hit the like button, hit the hype button after the stream is over. Jump into the comments if you have anything to say, really about anything we talked about. It's a total free for all, and I love responding to the comments and getting to know you guys a little bit better down there. So you guys have been incredibly awesome. Thank you so much to Jamie and Erica for working in tandem to keep everything clean in here. And thank you to everybody else for being so awesome in the chat all the time. Like, we so rarely have to worry about these things. There are some streams I go to where it seems like every time a streamer has to deal with some sort of nonsense, and I feel very fortunate that that is the exception here and not the rule. So thank you guys so very much for being awesome. I love you guys. You guys know that. Thank you so much to the channel members, the Patreon members, of course, all the mods. I think Eli was in here as well. So every single mod out there, thank you for what we do. We could talk about it. And here's what's funny is we probably wouldn't have talked about it, but it got brought up again by the person that said we were still talking about it later. So it's just sort of like, yeah, I guess the best way to not talk about it is to not talk about it. So I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. Yes, thank you so much for showing the love there, Jamie. And things are really heating it up between Nightmare Files and Erica. You guys will have to tune into the next stream to find out where that romance is headed. So keep an eye out. Really do appreciate you guys. I could say goodbye for another 10 minutes, but I guess I should just say goodbye now and get to some movie watching. All right, y'all. Have a great rest of your Sunday. I hope you guys are all well and that the work week treats you well going into tomorrow. And yeah, I'll be live for the channel members tomorrow and then live for everyone else later on tomorrow night. So that's going to wrap it up for this one. Until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.